usas no break. Hosta mefta cinco basta. Hosta mefta ubre. Rishi labir groove snores ladil kor. Rishi labir usas nos dobre. Hosta mefta cinco basta. Hosta mefta ubre. Rishi labir groove snores ladil kor. Rishi labir usas nos norbrek.
Yazor, why yazor, go, if ma.
Zipa puptecano solo, pușticane uno, zipa plufa torpos de vei. Zumba cojdonisi nisi, rista music roj de play. Zica kumba jumba noro, kumba jumba hero, kumba jumba opposite way.
Yeah.
Noteworthy. Hosta mefta cinco pasta. Hosta mefta ure. Rishi labir groove snores lagil kor. Rishi labir usas nos.
We are long lost lore. You will be assimilated. Your biological, technological, and role-playing uniqueness will be added. Damn it, I didn't decide what role-playing thing I was going to say at the end of what role-playing TTRPG uniqueness will be added to our own. Resistance is futile. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our latest adventure of the Noteworthy. My name's Philip, and I am your Starfleet Command, also known as the Game Master for this game. Joining me are our very well-dressed and three in alien makeup, to one degree or an ears or another, no doubt, our wonderful players. Say, live long and prosper, players.
Live long and prosper, players. And viewers.
Peace and long life. Hello, viewers, everybody. Welcome out there. We are so excited to do the third of our monthly Star Trek games. It's kind of crazy to think we've been doing this for... We haven't been doing this for 2 months, because the first two were less than a month apart. But we've been doing this for a while, and we have been filling in the gaps with these mini episodes that have also been super fun. So I've kind of been telling our players, I sent them like even briefer recaps, just single sentence explanations of the preceding episodes, just so kind of I can quickly reference, or they can reference if I start talking about something, things that happened in those, because those are all sort of canon and in the sequence of this series. So we are now on season 1, episode 9 of the Noteworthy.
And as we all know from watching all these other series of Star Trek, season 1, episode 9 is always important.
Season 1 is always the best season. It's always where they got stuff figured out straight out of the gate. The exception, I'm obviously joking, because season 1s of these are often like not the best. That being said, Strange New World season 1 was so good. They really knew what they were doing out of the gate on that one. Anyway.
And then there's Picard.
We don't. There's 3 things we don't talk about. Bruno, Fight Club. Oh, boy. If I have to say nice things about Picard, I can't find them, though. All that being said, we are going to be embarking on another mission. This one does actually, this one might have some previously on statements at the beginning of it. So I'm going to sort of, I might even, explain those to everyone, a bit of sort of some of the bigger ticket things that happened. The previously ons would probably involve Commander Grace Maxwell, the executive officer of the ship, kind of things coming to a head between her and Captain Winter. And Captain Winter sort of basically saying, I'm recommending you for captain. And her saying, I don't want a promotion to captain. Because he's just clearly trying to get rid of her. And then he did it anyway. And then our most recent, our second most recent episode, an episode called Refutation, involved the captain announcing his sort of interest or admitting his interest in a new position at Starfleet. One called the Commodore of the Diplomatic Corps, which is sort of a new sort of not quite admiral, you're out in the field, but you're sort of in charge of various diplomatic vessels and functions. So he did that, though there seemed to be some kind of complicated some moving and shaking and some deals being made. This old rival of his, a Captain Maruyama of a ship called the Jupiter, which actually, Giles, one thing from last time is Lieutenant Lewis came back over from the Jupiter, and you guys like had like a nice conversation where things didn't ever get weird. Lauren rolled very well for you. Yeah, but basically, there seems to be that Mariyama was up to something. You guys suspected it might involve Grimm. The captain did suggest he would want Grimm to maybe go back to Earth, as they'd asked long ago. He's worried you guys can't protect Grimm out here. So, many big things might be changing, and obviously we also have some new crew members who we might be introducing in a moment. But with all that in mind, okay, listen, everyone. I was told that I've been going to act break too aggressively. I was told that I do it too hard and that it's upsetting people. It's probably still gonna happen because I get excited and I just break right out to an act break. But we're gonna try to do them more calmly. And this first one that we're doing technically is not an act break. We're just going to start on a black screen so that when it comes back up, it's like this is not an act. It's like the next time you see me, it'll be a teaser. Okay, you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, black screen. Oh, damn, I got it. Hold on. Scrolling. Captain's log. Stardate 4933.1.5. I needed to practice this. The Noteworthy has arrived at the Utopia Planitia shipyards. Even though Earth is just a distant bead of light, as seen here from Mars, it still feels good being close enough to see home with the naked eye. The Noteworthy will be saying goodbye to many crew members and hello to many others. Its most significant change in crew since its first left this very shipyard 9 years ago. However, the crew aren't yet fully aware of the full scope of changes that are in store for them. So, we begin in the conference room. Quincy Vale, Simon Giles, Lieutenant Commander Senek, Vial, and Grace Maxwell and Dobbs are all present. The captain enters, and he is escorted by, or he is escorting the new chief medical officer. As you know, the ship has been without a chief medical officer, kind of just been being filled by whichever doctor was on duty. A new chief medical officer, and Orion walks into the conference room. And the captain says, good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Teda. She's going to be the new chief medical officer aboard the Noteworthy. I'm sure you all make a welcome.
Welcome, Doctor. So? Well, aren't you a ragtag group?
Oh, they do all right. Yeah, Teda, you sort of see three humans: the captain, Grace Maxwell, and Marvin Dobbs. That is the captain, the executive officer, and the operations officer. You also see the Trill Quincy Vale, the ship's counselor. You see Simon Giles, also a human. He is the vessel's engineer, chief engineer. And then you see a Vulcan, Lieutenant Commander Senek, who is the sort of helm, chief flight officer. The captain sort of moves around and kind of sits at the table. So, Dr. Teda arrived early, and this is a senior staff meeting, so Dr. Tada's here, and I think it best that she be kept informed of other changes that are happening. As you know, we have a large percentage of the crew are being moved to other vessels, and we're taking on a lot of new crew members here. I'm sure that many of you have heard about the incoming changes to sort of what our core mission is, our mission of diplomacy, our mission of strategy and tactics. That is actually going to be a more far-reaching thing for this ship than had previously been discussed. I have just been informed, and I have the honor announcing a promotion among you, in fact. Commander Maxwell, you are being promoted to captain. You are being assigned the USS... Didn't think of what it was. Ooh, I got one. Yeah, you are being assigned to the USS Borneo. This is going to be your first command. Very excited for you. Maxwell sort of nods, looking a little bit frustrated.
Can I make eye contact with Maxwell?
You may make eye contact with Maxwell.
Give a...
Well, is it that exciting? I get to see a captain promotion on my first day.
Maxwell kind of just gives you this nod. She's kind of, Maxwell sort of, she's a bit intense, I guess. She kind of, thank you. Yes, So you are going to have, some changes in leadership here at the executive level. However, actually, you know what? Kern 3 told us that we should do a difficulty 0 because I have this to track everyone's momentum. So there's 6. We can fill it up to this part. Nothing goes in that one. So right now you guys have 0 momentum. So let's do a difficulty 0 challenge. Quincy Vale, I want you to roll insight plus medicine. That's your best. Just roll an insight plus medicine. We'll call it a psychology. That's fine.
Oh,
so you roll 2 d20s. Anything below a 15 is a success. Anything below a 4 is 2 successes. What'd you get?
This is very auspicious for tonight. 2 13s.
2 13s. That is 2 successes. So you guys now
And
have...
that does not count on the dread clock tonight.
Wow.
Oh, it totally needs to, though, because we have no other way, and it is October. So, okay, excellent.
Spooktober, baby!
To note, so there we go. We got 2 on the dread clock.
Heck yeah.
Fine. As long as this is a spooky episode, I'll accept it.
Not really.
I mean, isn't everything spooky when you're like, you could potentially be shunted into the vacuum of space and die a cold, frozen death?
That sounds nice, though. After
That
what
is-
we've been through.
That is
Yeah.
not
I
not
mean,
incorrect.
it's okay.
So,
You die within 30 seconds, and most of the time you pass out before you actually get to the bad parts.
There you go.
this is why it's good to have a medical officer on board. So the point is, Quincy Vale, you've added 2 to the momentum, so that's, I'll always hold that up when people are making rolls. But I'm going to say you could definitely tell that Maxwell is stewing over this. The Borneo is not it's kind of like a relatively small ship. It's an appropriate first command sort of vessel. But the captain is sort of going on, and there's this sort of a smirk on his face. However, there is that's not the only bit of news I have. There's going to be more changes at the top level on this vessel. I have also received a promotion. I'm being promoted to Commodore of the Diplomatic Corps.
That's fantastic, Captain.
It is fantastic. Many of you who've served me a long time, I will. It's likely I will actually speak with some of you about possibly transferring over to me to serve aboard the new diplomatic flagship that is just being completed here at the Utopia Planitia shipyards. I'm going to be the. He's like, I'm going to be sort of commanding that vessel and leading all the other vessels, such as the Noteworthy, that have a diplomatic mission on their matters. I guess Dobbs will say the Talleyrand. I haven't heard of that. He says, yes, it's the first of its class. Oh, there it is. And then. Okay, it's too big. The point is, it looks like a giant cruise ship in space.
Is this the LGI budget coming in?
The LGI budget just came in on this game, my friends. The LGI budget, that's right, feature level. No more just micro machine stuff. Anyway, yeah, here's the ship. Here's the bridge. Here's the tower where they have this huge tower. This is effectively a mobile conference center. It's like a Javits Center with or whatever. What's the LA equivalent? What's the convention center here called? It's like the Anaheim Convention Center with warp nacelles, basically.
Convention center.
The ship is we'll get into all the crazy stuff, but basically there's a do, and there's like some shots of it out there as it moves. The captain seems like super excited about this promotion, and sort of he seems like I may be speaking to some of you about joining me aboard that vessel, but I know that as the Noteworthy under its new command will continue its mission, and I'm sure I'll be in contact with all of you to one degree or another. Until then, I know things are moving, so people may be getting new orders, and you could be putting in for other orders, but I just wanted you all to know this. The Noteworthy has been one of the greatest pleasures of my life, being the captain aboard this vessel. And I'm very excited about what the future holds. I'm sure we're all going to continue doing great work for Starfleet.
Well, if you need a new chief over there, just you know where to find me, Captain.
I'll be chatting with some of you. Don't worry. Maxwell has a dark look on her face. Everyone kind of seems to be taking this new information in. Teda, you're kind of like, oh wow, I just came in when they're saying the commanding and executive officer are both leaving. So it's kind of some crazy stuff here. And on that beat, opening credits. Boom, 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 do 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 do, boom. Space, the final frontier. Do 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 do. These are the voyages of the starship Noteworthy. Bum bum. Its continuing mission. Do 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 do, to bring together strange new cultures. To promote peace and understanding, and to spread a new message of unity throughout the Federation and beyond. Starring Ethan Douglas Jorgens Jr. as Captain Harold Winter, Valerie Darcy as Commander Grace Maxwell, also starring Zane as Lieutenant Commander Simon Giles, Lauren as Counselor Quincy Vale, Dan as Lieutenant Commander Sennick, Beth as Dr. Teda, Liv as Lieutenant Commander Alina Vial, Lyle Brian Forster Tuscadero as Lieutenant Marvin Dobbs, and Murray Fortenberry as Grimm. Act break. All right, Act 1. Everybody tell me when we get tired of those. But the thing is, Star Trek intros are so long. I watch on Paramount Plus and they don't give you a skip intro feature, and I have to hit 10 seconds forward like 20 times.
Way too many
so
times.
long. Versus the She-Hulk entrance.
So, Act 1. The title comes up. The Statesman. Ooh, fancy. Foreshadowing. What could that mean? I guess it would. Realistically, it would be. It would open on some kind of establishing shot. Sorry, of Mars. I'm sorry. So.
Was that the Challenger?
What?
Oh, I thought that was like the Challenger or something.
That would be really funny, though.
This is the Talleyrand. But, just wait. So anyway.
So is that ship going to try and bribe as many people as it can?
Well, it's just... The ship does diplomacy by any means necessary. Let's figure it like that. So, I think we should open with, let's say that Senec, Giles, Vale, and Tata are sort of like making their way to the medical bay. Tata, you're kind of, this is sort of some senior staff who are accompanying you there. Vial is off doing other stuff. Maxwell kind of walked off pretty quickly to deal with other matters. So, if you'd like all to all have a moment, discuss what is going on.
Dr. Tata must be so sad that your ship, your crew is breaking up.
Yes, it was quite sudden, but you know, the Noteworthy is full of a crew that can handle anything. I'm the counselor, so you. I know.
And I'm used to breakup.
Oh. And I'll just pat Simon on the shoulder. Yeah. But we're so happy that you're here. I've been having to fill in more than I'm comfortable with in sick bay, so it's great to have a medical doctor on board.
Oh, I just love being in sick bay. How many nurses do you have? Do you have any nurses?
As you will say that at this moment you walk in, you have, I'll tell you this in game terms. Yes, you have a full staff, which actually gives you the advantage called medical staff. This means that you can like attempt procedures that, you couldn't if you didn't have a full staff of people. Not only that, you even have other like doctors, people who graduated med school here. Betty Donaldson is one of them. We last saw her when she was helping out Commander Senec. She's a human. She kind of like, she'll come over and introduce herself to you. You're our new chief, right?
Yes, I am. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you. I haven't really seen that many Orions in Starfleet. I'm excited to get to know you.
Yeah, yes, I hear that a lot. I'm excited to get to know you as well.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I did like half the staff just got transfer orders, and I think we're getting a bunch of new nurses and I think some fresh out of medical academy. But I'm sure it'll be it'll all be great.
Sounds like a plan. The rest of the senior officers, how often do we have meetings? Do we meet a lot? Is there a lot going on, or is this more of a quiet ship?
It's fairly quiet. However, we are called to the conference room whenever we have any diplomatic matters to deal with. Usually it's all hands on deck, which I would actually imagine that you would be a part of as well, even though you're medical. But, you never know what's important to know about the physiology of other beings. I actually did study xenobiology, and that actually comes in handy quite a bit. Yeah, so...
And all of you guys are up to date on your hypo sprays, right? Because you are going back to Starfleet. I wouldn't want you to bring back any bugs from space.
Can I quickly pull out my thing and see if I'm up to date on everything?
I will say all of you are up to date. Dr. Tata, in fact, if you look at who's up to date on their stuff, it seems like the senior staff is pretty good about it. There's somebody named Marvin Dobbs who seems to just always forget everything, but he did recently get his shots. But there is someone on the list who has it doesn't say up to date. It kind of just has like an asterisk or like a question mark, almost as if they're not sure. They kind of can't tell. The crewman's name is Specialist Grimm.
Oh, it looks like you guys are all up to date, but who is this?
Oh, he's it's hard to explain, but he's like a fairy tale.
He recently came onto our ship and actually into existence just a couple months ago. So we're not quite sure about his physiology quite yet, but you could examine him and see if he'll take well to the vaccinations and things like that, because he is a valuable member of our crew.
Well, sounds like as good a place to start as any. I'll call him up for an exam.
Okay, cool. Grimm enters. Not long after that, kind of like a cut to like Grimm there. Senec, Giles, and Vale, do you think you've stuck around when Grimm is meeting Tata?
I definitely did.
Vale has stuck around. Giles or Sedek, you're welcome to, but it's kind of just an up to you sort of thing.
I do not believe that I would remain.
Understood.
It does not seem that I am needed, and I would probably have duties elsewhere to attend to.
So Senec and Giles?
Ship needs me.
The ship needs you. So basically, Grim comes in and he just basically, yes, you see a goblin like out of a fairy tale. He's like a little under 3 feet. He's in a little Starfleet uniform. He has 2 knives at his side. And he just walks in and says, what's up, Doc?
Hello. Hi. I'm Tata. I heard that you're Grim.
I'm Grim.
Hi, Grim. I don't know if you know, but it's Starfleet protocol to make sure that everybody's up to date on all their physicals and their hypo sprays. And see, that it doesn't seem like you have had yours. Would it be all right if we start today?
Yeah, sure. You can do whatever. It doesn't even matter anyway.
Oh, Grim.
Okay. I'm also gonna add you on the list for being checked out by the counselor. Okay, go ahead. Hop up on the table. We'll get started.
He he just fully hot, frog jumps is standing on the table. Yeah, like that.
That is an interesting skill. I'll have to leave that in my notes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna get a nurse to start the scan.
I have really crazy verticals.
You can do a scan on him. His physiology seems odd, but he seems to be in good health, and you can certainly give him sort of just a standard dose of various shots. However, his mood seems very bad.
I'm gonna also keep a record of how he is now, just in case something happens in the future, since he's such an unusual creature, and so we can tell him something's off.
Good idea.
And that's it. Thank you, Graham. You know what? Get back to work. I'm so glad you're able to come in. Have a good day.
Oh, there's no work to get back to. They're sending me down to Earth.
Wait. That went through?
The captain says, yep, I gotta get on a shuttle. They're sending me to Earth.
I wasn't informed. It's okay.
I guess it's my orders, although it doesn't look like I'm getting transferred anywhere.
Don't go anywhere quite yet, Grim. Can I go talk to the captain?
Of course. All right. Tata, are you gonna stick around, get acclimated?
Yes.
Understood. Great. Vale is going to talk to the captain. So Vale, marching down the hallway trying to find the captain. We will. I'm gonna cut over to Giles and Senec. However, the two of you notice that actually, let's have you guys, I want you both to roll. It's probably not neither of your super highest thing, but would you guys just roll an insight plus command for me? So that's a 12 for Simon, and that is a 13 for you, and this would, neither of you would get any kind of benefit on this.
14 and 15, so both are failures.
Both failures, okay.
I got 9 and 13, so I don't know if that.
Yeah, baby.
A lot of action there. Okay, so you have 1 success. You actually have 2 success. Oh, wait, you're at 12 though.
I'm at 12.
So that's only 1 success. Okay, so but however, that is it. Ooh.
Wait, Philip, what happens if we get a dreadstorm tonight? We'll just save for next week.
Temporal distortion.
Yes.
I will say if we roll to a dreadstorm, I'm gonna phrase like this: if we get to 12, because they're so hard to get in Merkshire, I'm going to say we'll get to 12. It has to actually happen in Merkshire. If we get to 12, I will count how many more. And once we reset, we'll add those.
Okay.
Merry Halloween to us all.
I hope I don't die.
So, Simon, you do notice, as you're sort of walking here, that there's a weird air amongst everybody. There's a weird energy. A guy, basically a commander in a red uniform, is stepping onto the ship. He's got 3 pips. He looks very serious. He's very just tall and kind of he's he's not like super yoked, but he's like very muscular. Probably like 6'3", 6'4". He's just like a very like tall, big, imposing sort of person. He is sort of stepping out, and he's just being escorted by an ensign. And the ensign's kind of like looking very sort of nervous. And I'm going to say with the psychology command roll the insight command roll you just rolled, I'm going to say that you get the sense that this very well might be your new executive officer.
Son, I know it's kind of hard for you to pick up on emotions and vibes and stuff, but did you notice what's going on the ship? And that guy over there, I think he's going to be our executive officer.
Now that he's pointed out, do I see him?
You see the man. He sort of is pausing at this ensign's kind of just like, and he's just sort of standing there like very like humorless, very kind of serious in his face.
It is very possible, Giles. It does seem unusual that there are so many orders and transfers at this one time. However, it is not unheard of.
You think we should introduce ourselves maybe? And I don't know, maybe he'll take favor to us?
It is probably better to curry favor, Giles, through performing your duties admirably rather than acting in a sycophant-like style.
Yeah, but sometimes you gotta grease the wheels a little bit. It's a human thing. You'll get it eventually. Here, watch. And I go and approach the executive officer.
He sort of turns to yes.
Commander, I just wanted to introduce myself, Lieutenant Commander Simon Giles. I'm the chief engineer of the ship, and I'm here at your service. Your name is, sir?
I'm Commander Whitney.
Pleasure to meet you, Commander Whitney. What's your previous experience prior to coming to the Noteworthy?
Impressive. If you don't mind. He kind of just carries on.
Is this guy kind of like a Jason Statham level person?
Yeah, that's not a bad reference. Yeah, he's definitely just like he's like hard and like terse.
Well, Giles, did that go the way that you were intending?
I think so. I think he said I was impressive, but I'm not quite sure if it was sarcasm or if he was referring to his experience as impressive. It could go either way.
I'll put my hand on Giles' shoulder and say perhaps he simply requires more time to settle into his new posting.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, as he walks down, you guys are like, ooh, uh-oh, like the new vibe might not be all it's cracked up to be. Act break. Yeah, no, I painted these on white cardstock with white.
Cool.
Oh, hold on, I'm back. Hold on. Act 2. Ba ba da ba 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 ba. And these I already had from when I played Star Trek Attack Wing. Just forgot to bring them out. This one was harder to paint because nebulas. Okay.
That looks cool.
Anyway, Act 2. So, there you go. Commander Whitney just showed up. He's a real like uh-oh beat to end on. I think he said I was impressive. Yeah, right, Simon Giles. Counselor Vale. We're gonna start in the captain's office. The door chime. He goes, "Come," and you can enter.
Captain?
Counselor, I was hoping you'd come speak to me.
Yes, I wanted to discuss some of the changes that are happening on the ship. Seems like
Relax.
quite a bit.
Relax. I would love to have you join me aboard the Talleyrand.
I would like to remain on the Noteworthy.
Oh?
I didn't come to request a transfer. I came to ask why you're sending Grimm to Earth.
Oh, I see. I spoke with Starfleet Command, and they agree that Grim is, it hasn't been safe having Grim around, and now there's so many changes are happening aboard the Noteworthy. So many of his friends, his fellow comrades, the people he felt close to, are spreading to the winds. It made more sense for him to go to Earth, be in a more controlled environment for his own safety.
Grim has contributed greatly to the safety of our crew.
I don't disagree at all.
And he has not been in any more danger than the rest of us, which negates your previous statement that it has been a danger to him and the crew.
Counselor. He kind of pauses and kind of walks over and kind of very quietly. You know what Muyurama's trying to do. Something's going on. And with my new responsibilities, I can't look out for Mr. Grimm the way I have been.
So what I'm hearing is that you aren't willing to protect the crew of the Noteworthy any longer because you're moving on. Is that correct?
I will still be
Captain?
protecting the crew of the Noteworthy. Noteworthy will still be under my direction, just under the command of a new captain. And under my oversight. I'll still be checking in, even if you... He kind of just pauses. Let me tell you about the new ship. It has a conference center. It has performance venues. The finest artists in the Federation and outside of it are going to be performing there on a regular basis. Every one of the staterooms, which are for guests and senior staff, have hollow emitters in the room, Counselor. If you think the hollow suites that this vessel has, if you think the hollow emitters we put into your therapy office are impressive here, you can't believe what they do. Counselor. He sort of pauses. Oh, and speaking of Picard, it's funny because here's the thing, but it's from the book. He's like, Counselor, the vessel is outfitted with holographic crew members whose programming I was hoping you would help us oversee.
That's very intriguing, Captain. However, I have never been one to pursue ships and their capabilities. I've developed very close relationships with the crew here, and I think my services are better.
I'm not going to try to convince you overly. If you don't want to, it's I understand. You're welcome to stay here.
Maxwell, why can't she command the Noteworthy?
Oh, the Noteworthy's Commander Maxwell is going to make a fine captain, but I don't think Commander Maxwell particularly enjoys being under my orders, and I think the Borneo is a much more appropriate first vessel for her to be in command of. Look, everyone, when you first become captain, you got to get a few years of survey missions under your belt. I know she's not a big fan of science, but it's just regular survey missions. She'll be fine.
I would like it to be noted that, in my professional and psychological opinion, I don't think that these changes, as abrupt and sudden and significant as they are, will be good for the morale of the crew. May I be dismissed, Captain?
As you please, Counselor.
I will go. And she'll release a breath that she was holding the whole time.
Yeah. Understood. All right. At this point, Tata, we're going to say that you are. Let's have Tata, Senec, and Giles. We'll say that also Maxwell's probably not doing it. We'll say Dobbs is with you all. We'll say that you guys have kind of come to you're in full impulse, which is the main bar here on the Noteworthy. And as Dobbs is sort of saying, so Doc, what you good at if a couple, well, if a married couple, well, okay, they don't have to be married. I'm not trying to judge anybody who's not. Just doctor, if a couple was trying to conceive if they're I don't know. Is that a thing? Is that a consultation? Is that if do you talk to the both people at the same time? Is that a thing?
Dobbs, was it?
Yeah. The operations officer. Sorry, Marvin Dobbs is my name. My wife's Liana. I'm talking about me and my wife. I'm not talking about she's my wife. I'm not saying it would be a problem if it wasn't my wife.
Listen, Dobbs.
Yeah.
Does this look like the sick bay?
Oh, sorry, you're off. I'm so sorry. I apologize.
Yeah. Listen, if you want to claim it, we can discuss it, but I'm on break.
That's fine. Believe me, I'd always rather never talk about this. Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. And he just kind of leans back.
See you later. Oh, Commander Giles, that reminds me. When our next shift starts, would you mind looking at some changes I wanted to add to my replicator?
Yeah. What do you need, Doc?
A little bit of yeast, quite a few bottles, and something that seals pretty well, like just really holds in the liquid.
You gonna make a cake?
Sure.
No, but really, what are you making?
Oh, it's just research. Nothing to worry about. But once I'm done, I'll let you try some.
Oh, all right. Guess she is making a cake. Who I talked to.
At this point, Tata, Dobbs is also like he was kind of like in this thing, so he's sort of stepped away from you, but he's still sort of nearby. But the doors open, and Commander Whitney steps in. Just sort of looks around, kind of makes an expression like, sort of shakes his head, and then walks out.
Am I here?
No.
Oh.
Dr. Tata, have you ever interacted with Commander Whitney before?
No. Have you?
No, I have not, and I was seeking a more experienced opinion.
I mean, I could interact with him.
Just he's a little rough around the edges. I think he likes me, but I'm not quite sure. But maybe if we watch how he interacts with you, we might be able to get an idea for.
I will. Well, Giles, I'll pull up my pad and pull up his service record.
Understood. Whitney has served aboard several vessels, earning distinction. He is a extreme veteran of the Cardassian Federation War, of the Dominion War. He's like, this guy is a combat commander.
He's seen the shit.
He has he has multiple like medals of valor. I'll tell you what, Senek. The most sort of like impressive sounding thing is that he apparently like held a post against 50 Jem'Hadar with nothing but a Type 1 phaser. And he held that post until reinforcements arrived.
That is an impressive man.
Yes. If we should ever find ourselves pinned down, it would certainly be a boon to have Commander Whitney on our side.
Wait, but don't you see? With all these changes, I mean, do you think we're going to war?
The parameter, we haven't, like, I guess as officers we haven't heard any like chatter about potential war, right?
We're in a time of relative peace and sort of calmness. Yeah.
Well, it does seem that our mission parameters may change if we're not fully mobilizing for war.
You know what? It would be interesting if we did go to war. Last time I saw a bomb take someone out, they completely lost their leg. Their femoral artery was kind of gushing out a little bit of blood. I remember I had to tie it off, but then they're screaming in a lot of pain. So I didn't have anything to try to sedate them. So I did have to take a rock, which caused a concussion. Then I had to have them scanned. It was just so tiring. And you should hear how much people scream when they think they're gonna die. It's ridiculous. Like, so you're
Dobbs
gonna
spills
die.
his drink all over himself.
Dr.
I'm
Tatum.
sorry, I gotta go to my wife to take my shirt off. It's not mating. I'm not talking about that. I'm sorry, Doc. He just wanders out.
Doctor,
Oh.
may I offer you a bit of insight?
Sure.
That is, well, I do find that situation fascinating. There are many of the crew members would find that a sensitive topic to discuss and would more likely not enjoy that. Giles, were you disturbed by that imagery?
I prefer she talk about baking a cake.
Oh, Giles. It's
On-
not a cake.
Oh, we're definitely cutting away at that moment. That's great. So she's like, yeah, Vale, where are you going?
To see if I can find Grace.
I figured you would. You find Grace in her quarters. She's all packed up.
Hi, Grace.
Hello, counselor. Packing. Suitcase. Folding.
I know it's not much, but I wanted to let you know that I spoke to the captain and told him that I don't agree with any of this. All he had to say was that I should go on a fancy new ship because it has great holo emitters in every room and the conference hall is fantastic and just things that don't really matter.
Yeah. I appreciate that, Vale. Quincy. I mean, it is what it is.
Is there anything we can do to prevent your transfer? I mean, we don't need a new captain. If you're going to be captain, you belong here.
Don't disagree.
You've already proved that you're better at diplomacy than Winter.
You know they're not calling it a diplomatic vessel. She sort of glances out the window at the Talleyrand.
I know. He said that new captains need a few, what was the word? Missions under their belt?
No, she's if you tell her that, she'll a few survey missions.
Yes.
If she gets this look of, she's like, no, I'm.
Which I know is not true.
They're not calling. This is the diplomatic corps, but they're calling it a conference center. It's a hospitality ship. Read the mission brief. She shows you the thing.
So we're not going to. What is the goal?
I mean,
here?
the goal is diplomacy, but it's diplomacy through art shows and performances and hollow suites and I think they have an indoor pool, as opposed to, that's what the focus is on.
So what kinds of civilizations are we supposed to be working with? Royal planets?
I think it's probably you bring the Romulans on to show them how nice your things are. You bring on all the, yeah, that's the point. It's about impressing. It's about demonstrating sort of flash, and it's the direction they're going.
That's not right.
I don't disagree. But in any case, I'm off to the Borneo so that we can survey quasars. Are they quasars that have never been surveyed before? No. We're just surveying quasars to see how much they've changed since our last survey. The lifespan of a quasar, it's like we never left. But in any case, she's kind of putting her bag on. I'm off, yeah.
Stay in touch, okay? And I know that you're not a touchy person, but may I give you a hug? Just a goodbye hug.
Sure, it's fine. Okay. She'll hug you. Was there something else you wanted to talk to her about?
Grim, I'll mention that.
Understood. So we're gonna say that
This is like an afterthought.
she starts
like,
she all right, and then she starts she looks at her quarters and she starts walking out, and then say I need to do it. So you say okay, bye, and then she starts walking out of her quarters. It's like, do the thing, say the thing.
Oh, we're not only losing you, by the way. He's sending Grim to Earth as well.
Maxwell stops.
I want to say bye to him.
Sets her bags down. What? Act break!
Nice. Act break on stream.
I say act break on stream, and now it's act... What are we in? Act 3?
Act 3, yeah.
Act 3. We're back. We were on a black screen, and now we're back.
Sophia Distracted wanted them to be more aggressive, by the way.
Oh, more aggressive? Oh my gosh, guys, I'm getting so many mixed notes. I've been told they're too aggressive. I've been told they're not aggressive enough.
I think during the week they're a little aggressive. On Fridays, I think it's good.
Oh, on Fridays I should go.
Friday at the time to let your hair down.
I
and
should
get a
go
little
hard. I
Can't
should
go hard.
Okay, understood.
Since we can't go hard like we do in Merkshire.
Or Voluptua.
Or Voluptua.
Now Voluptua is hard.
All right. I will say. Tata, as you're making your way around the ship, just checking it out, getting your bearings, you certainly attract a good number of looks. But as you're sort of walking the space, kind of getting familiar with it, you notice Commander Whitney making his way down a corridor. He sort of sees you and just kind of half nods, begins to walk past as you guys are like passing.
Commander Whitney,
Yeah.
I hear you served in quite a few combat situations in the past.
Yes.
As someone that comes from a background with something similar, you may want to change your attitude a little bit if you want to connect with the crew. That's right, she chooses violence.
He sort of just looks at her for a second and says, "I've no desire to connect with the crew."
That'll change. Have a good day, sir.
He kind of like watches you for a second, just shakes his head and walks down. Meanwhile, Grim is just kind of like walking down the alley with Vial. So Tata, you see a Bajoran woman. She's the security chief. You met her earlier. She's there with Grim. And she's basically, Grim saying like, "Well, Vale told me not to leave, but they've asked for me to get to the shuttle 3 times now." And she's like, "Okay, well then we'll just wait and just wait and see. I'll say that I still have some work for you to do." He's like, "Okay." Oh, hey Doc.
Hi, Grim. I think we had a few more scans we need to do. Security operator, sir, do you mind escorting him to the sick bay? I think we have quite a few more things we should do before he heads down to Earth. Because his physiology is so different.
I think that's a great idea. And actually, Grim, let's do the first one. Could you go via Jeffrey's tubes? I'll meet you. We can have a little race. Grim's like, "What, a race? It's not even close. I can get there like so much faster than you in the Jeffrey's tubes." She says, "But what if you have to round the invection coils on deck 7? Oh, geez. Okay, yeah. Ready, set, go. And he just charges off into a Jeffrey's tube.
So, what's going on? Why is it that there seems to be 2 command officers with completely different opinions as far as what's happening to Grim?
Who else had an opinion about what's happening to Grim? I mean, the captain wants him gone. Vale just said to stall, so I'm just stalling.
Interesting.
I mean, I'm gonna hate to lose him. You never know he's there. It's incredible. During the Bajoran resistance, I'm assuming, I got real good at being on watch. I can never tell Grim's there. It's a shame to lose him.
That's impressive. Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna go talk to Commander Vale and see what's going on.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you.
So, as Tata heads off to find Vale, we'll say that Giles and Senec, as you guys are sort of doing various things, Lieutenant Commander Senec, actually, I'm going to say, Giles, you're down in engineering doing your thing. Senec, from the bridge, the captain says, Lieutenant Commander, can I have a word, please?
Yes, Captain. I will get up and go into the office.
So, Mr. Senec, I'm impressed with your performance so far. I was curious if you had any interest in piloting a vessel with a little less maneuverability, but a lot more oomph behind it.
Captain, obviously I will go wherever my orders take me. May I speak frankly, Captain?
There's been a lot of that going around today. Go ahead, Senec.
I do believe that my skill set would not be as well served on a vessel such as the Talleyrand.
There are a lot of smaller craft aboard. It has extensive shuttle bays. That's literally one of the ship talents, extensive shuttle bays. As such...
Hey, look, you don't need to tell me about extensive shuttle bays.
Doom Toronto returns.
Heyo!
But yeah, he's kind of just basically sort of saying, Mr. Senec, I for the occasions when we need to pilot important dignitaries, people to the conferences we're going to be holding there, I would want someone with your skills at the helm. I've seen the amazing things you've done. I'm not going to request the transfer if it's not something you want, but I think you can. I mean, look, up until that ship, the Noteworthy was at the top of the game for the work we're doing. Now there's a bigger ship.
Captain, that the Talleyrand, while it does seem quite magnificent, appears as if it is half a ship and half a space station.
It's I mean, it can get some moving going on it, but I understand your point. It's a bigger vessel. It's more like an ancient ocean liner back on Earth. Probably not something you're particularly familiar with.
What I am curious, Captain, one has the with all these transfers, have the mission parameters for the Noteworthy changed?
No, the Noteworthy will continue its diplomatic mission. It will continue to bring together strange new cultures, promote peace and understanding, and spread that mission of diplomacy throughout the Federation and beyond. Just now, it'll be one of many ships under my direction doing so. Starfleet's happy with what we've all done. I'm just trying to sort of, I've had a great team here. I'm trying to... I thought everyone would be more pleased with some of these offers.
I do... There is, Captain, to be, as you have said it, as I've been speaking frankly, I will continue to do so, and I hope that I do not offend you. When I look at that ship, I see... I get a sense of remaining stagnant. It feels less. One of the beautiful things about Starfleet is that we are proactive in our diplomacy, and this seems like a more reactive form of diplomacy.
Well, I'm not here to debate the overall diplomatic nature of the changes that are happening after my promotion to Commodore, sir. Senec, if you don't want to be in the diplomatic corps, I'm happy to recommend a transfer with all the glowing praise I can to a more dynamic, as you put it, role. But this is what the future of Starfleet diplomacy is going to look like. I hope you remain a part of it, but I'm not going to force you anywhere. If you don't want to come to the Talleyrand, you don't have to.
May I have time to think about this, Captain?
Please. Don't take too long, though. A lot of pilots champing at the bit for this one. Dismissed.
Of course.
He just sort of stands there shaking his head. He's not going to ask Dobbs. And he's not going to ask Giles either. Giles, in episode 2, you failed 12 checks in a row. He's not asking you.
It was the dice.
Hey. I need someone who can make the dice work, no matter what, Mr. Giles. So, as Senec leaves, Vale,
Yes.
you and Maxwell will say that you guys have gone to... what would you do? Maxwell has some ideas, but what would you do about the situation?
I mean, within my capacity, I don't know if there's much I can do. Is there? I mean...
She will, then Vale will recommend, she's like, I know people at Starfleet Command, so we're going to cut to...
Maxwell?
Yes.
Oh, okay, just double checking.
Vale will say that Maxwell is calling down to one of her contacts at Starfleet Command to find out the deal with Grimm.
Mm-hmm.
Quincy Vale. Also, guys, this is like been a very low roll night where this is just an RP game, so there we go. But Vale, I'm going to say that you really always get to do your best stuff here. I'd like you to roll an insight and medicine.
15.
Go ahead and put psychology on it as well. So anything 4 or lower is 2 successes. Do you want to spend one of your 2 momentum that you already have? It's a difficulty 1.
I'll spend 1.
You'll spend
Sure.
1. All right.
Yeah.
So you're going to roll 3 d20s. All you got to do is roll lower than a 15 on 1. And if you roll under a 4, it's 2 successes.
I got a 9 and a 4 and a 17.
9, 4, 17. That is 3 successes. Do you want to apply the extra 2 you got, or do you want to put him into the momentum pool?
Can I apply 1?
Sure. So the momentum pool is where it is, and you have 2 successes. Great. As you sort of begin talking with Starfleet Command, you get the distinct sense that this friend of Maxwell's, who seems to be someone who, you just succeeded and used an extra on insight. So this is someone who also knows Winters, who Maxwell's kind of reaching out to. And this is someone who isn't a fan of Winters and who is saying, yeah, as far as I can tell, I think part of his promotion, he kind of sweetened the pot by offering to bring Grimm back. Which, I think they could have asked for it at any time, but he sort of said he'd facilitate it this way, and I guess he is. So I think he made Commodore sort of by returning Grimm in these circumstances, I guess. Maxwell's like, damn it. All right. Wait a second. I guess there is one option then.
What?
She asks her friend. Grimm is still registered as a Starfleet security specialist, right? Well, I'd like at least some crew on the Borneo I'm familiar with. So she's going to request that Grimm be transferred with her to the Borneo.
Oh no! Oh, wait! You would do that for Grimm?
Yeah, why not call in every favor I've got? What's another year and a half of surveying quasars? So Maxwell will.
It'll definitely piss off Winters, which Don't tell anybody I told you, but that sounds like a bonus to me.
Not a bad point. All right, can you put that transfer? And her friend's like, I think I can actually. I know it's like Starfleet security director. We can probably slip this through something. And she goes, all right, well, I'll have Grim meet me when we go over to the Borneo then. So she goes, that being said, I think I gotta get out of here. We'll cut to Tata, as you're giving Grim like another, you're Tata. Tell you what, let's have you. I mean, you got to make a roll tonight. Let's have you do. I'm gonna have this be a reason plus medicine, so it's 13. So we roll 2 d20s, and if anything's below 13, yeah, this isn't emergency medicine or virology, so this is just, if anything's 13 or lower, it'll be a success. So roll 2. If you'd like to spend momentum, you could. You just need 1 success on this.
Oh, I'm okay. I rolled a 12.
Roll to 12. Great. So with 1 success, you manage to give Grim a pretty good... Basically, you're like using the excuse of keeping here to like go ahead and like do some actual scans on him. And it does seem... It's interesting. His organs seem like... They seem like very designed. Like he's in very good health, but it's very simple. He doesn't have like redundant systems. It seems like his body just kind of like came into being in a very sort of simple way. So you could see there being problems with that, but provided he's healthy, it's kind of like, he doesn't have much redundancy in his body. But he's also kind of just, it's like pretty simple. At this time, however, we'll say that Vial is there with you. And she's like, I can't believe you beat me here. And Grim's like, yeah, well, I'm fast. That tickles, Doc. At this point, Maxwell will sort of come in. And she'll say, Specialist Grim, I know that you received a command to head down to Earth. But actually, you've received, you are leaving the Noteworthy, but you're still going to be in service, Starfleet. And she hands up, orders. He goes, whoa, wait, what? And Vial says, and she goes, bringing you aboard as a security specialist on the Borneo. Listen, surveying those quasars, it's very dangerous. I'm going to need someone with your skills. But we do have to leave immediately. Oh, okay, I'll go. I mean, I'm packed up on account of I was told. Did Vale say this is okay? Tata, am I clear? Doc?
Oh, yes, absolutely. You have a full bill of health. Actually, I'm going to give you a copy of the scans, just in case anything does change.
Thanks, Max. We'll take it. All right. So they head out. Vial. I don't know if I can't speak for Liv if Vial would have a tear in her eye, but she might a little bit. So Maxwell's going to come out. That being said, we're going to go to Giles now, as Act 3 comes to a close. You get a buzz. A comm.
Giles here.
Hey, Simon. It's Lewis. How's it going?
Lewis, how are you? I'm fantastic. Are you fantastic?
I am. Are you in the system, by the way? Are you at Utopia Planitia?
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am there. Are you there?
Oh, that's funny. So are we. The Jupiter is present. Yeah, I think we were actually going to be. I was actually going to come over on like a shuttle. I think there's some personnel we were going to pick up. But I'd love to chat if you're around.
Yeah, come to my place, or I mean, we'll go to Full Impulse, and then we'll go to my. I'd love to see you.
Why don't you meet me at Shuttle Bay 2?
I will see you at Shuttle Bay 2.
Awesome.
Can I bring you anything? Can I bring you a Ractigino?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna make one, sure.
Okay, 2 coming right up. I'll see that when are you gonna be there right now?
I mean, soon.
5 minutes. See you there in 5 minutes. Give me 10.
Okay. I mean, yeah. You can wait for me there. It's fine. Okay, bye.
Okay. Scramble to get. I got to go to Full Impulse and get a Ractigino.
Your security staff is just, or your engineering staff's like, okay.
And I'm running. I'm just running.
And then as we often do here, we're gonna end with a scene with none of you. As we cut to Lewis sort of like looking back. And she'll say, all right, well, I'll be over in there in a second. I'm sure I could, ask him to help us out. Her captain, Maruyama, is sort of like watching all of this, and he says, just make sure, don't let winter trap you or anything. She says, of course not. And he says, I'm sorry, any other orders, Commander? And he sort of turns to his new sort of senior science officer, a Vulcan woman named Hanine, who I think only Lauren would remember. She's a transfer from the Vulcan Science, what are they called? The Vulcan Science not the...
Academy?
Yeah, the Vulcan Science Academy, the Vulcan Science Department, whatever it is, their own like thing. But like she's a transfer in, but she's in Starfleet. And she sort of says, that should be quite satisfactory. And so Lewis goes off. Hanine had a bit of a run-in specifically with Maxwell, when the Vulcans were an offshoot of the science people were trying to do some shady stuff to another species. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty good. Yeah, so it's like when you see like that Tasha Yar is Sela or whatever, it's like there's like a moment of like you see her sort of like standing there and reveal it's that person from behind. She's like, that should be satisfactory. And on that note, act break. Act 4. That's the bad guy's ship. It's a sovereign class like the Enterprise E. But they're, it's commanded by Maruyama. Guys, if you haven't watched Refutation, you'll learn about him. And if you want to learn about Hanine, go and watch
Counterprime.
Counterprime. That's where Counterprime is where Laura decided she liked Maxwell after all, is my guess.
Her and Vale are now friends.
They kind of are.
First name basis.
The fandom went crazy over that hug.
They did. Oh, the
There's
fandom.
a lot of fan pictures
Also,
now.
I nearly said something, but let's go ahead and feed into it because it's Star Trek, so it's toothless and there won't be anything. But like, there was a feeling, like people do a lot of like freeze frames of it. It does seem like Maxwell like held on to Vale for like a half second longer than, as if like she actually did want to hug Vale. Whatever.
I felt that.
There's a lot of fan art of it. Anyway. Act 4. It is at this point that, as you all are, sort of like, kind of, moving around doing various things. Vale, you've sort of seen him off, so we'll say that Vale you're hanging out with, I'm just gonna say the 4 of you are hanging, oh no, Sedek, Tata, Vale, and Vial, and Dobbs are all hanging out. But do 3 seconds of role play as you guys talk about how like Grim and Maxwell are leaving on a like a shuttle. They're heading out.
I will certainly miss Grim. He brought a unique perspective to the vessel.
That
I don't
is
understand why
evolution.
Maxwell is not the captain.
I don't either. And I'm impressed that you've caught. Well, we haven't been very discreet about these things. We really admire Captain Maxwell.
Captain Maxwell, that's true. All right, so we're gonna say you guys are in Shuttle Bay. Which one did she say she was going to? Shuttle Bay 2? Okay,
Yeah.
you guys are in Shuttle Bay 1. As you're like waving goodbye to them as they leave. Okay, meanwhile, so it's kind of like, I know one's a runabout. I'm sorry I don't have 2 shuttles. I'm sorry. The point is,
I'm quitting.
We gotta up that budget.
Right?
He's biting it. He's biting it.
the point is, as shuttles pass in the night, as a shuttle leaves Shuttle Bay 1, another shuttle heads into Shuttle Bay 2. And Simon Giles is there waiting.
Eagerly.
Simon, you've been waiting for approximately 17 minutes.
And my I've had about half of my Ractogino.
Okay. Meanwhile, you come in.
No.
And then your girl, did we ever give Ensign, now Lieutenant Lewis, a first name? Let's say she's never said it to you.
Never knew it.
Okay. Hold on. That's fun. Yeah. So, the ship lands. And she sort of steps off and she's like, "Hi, Simon. Oh my god, you're right on time. Thank you so much." And she takes her Ractogino from you. "It's so good to see you."
Oh, so
Hug. 2 rubs on back. That kind of hug, you know?
Absolutely. It's wonderful to see you too, Lewis.
You call me Jacinda.
Jacinda?
Yeah.
That's your name? That's
Yeah.
a beautiful. Jacinda. I've never met a Jacinda before. Have you?
I mean, I know myself, so.
Yeah. Silly question. I know. How's the Ractogino?
It's a little cold, but it's fine. So listen, we're here to pick up, it's actually kind of a sensitive thing, because we just wanted to sort of oversee it. There is a crewman named, Grim on your staff. You know, remember when I helped you guys, like figure him out at his first, and like that's why you recommended me for my promotion and everything?
Yeah. How could I forget? I mean, yeah, that was a big day for you.
Well, it looks like he's being sent down to Earth, and they said they'd rather him be taken by shuttle rather than like a transporter and stuff, because I guess your ship's not heading over there. So I was assigned to come bring him because I kind of knew him.
Wait, did I know that he was going down to Earth?
I think you've heard that through the grapevine. That being said, Simon, I'm gonna bring something up to you. Ooh. I'm gonna do this in a way where it's not really how this game works, but I'm gonna do this anyway. This will not be a complication, but if you would like to add some threat to the pool, I will give you additional information. I will say that you have heard some other stuff through the grapevine.
I'm a sucker for learning.
Okay. I'm gonna add 1 to the threat pool, and you will also remember what happened during the, shall we say, the last time you saw Lewis was during the debate tournament, and it was great seeing her. She was so sweet. You guys had a great time. You didn't act weird at all. It was amazing. It was like a human conversation. You're so proud of yourself. There were some weird rumors, and it didn't really come down to you, that some of the people from her ship and the captain were doing some shady stuff, and you did hear the possibility that she may or may not have hacked the systems on the ship, but there was no proof of it. You may do with that information what you want, but that does flash in your mind as she's talking about Grim. And she's like, so I'm kind of here to pick him up. I know it's an awkward thing, so I just wanted to make sure he's able to say goodbye to everybody, and he has a familiar face taking him. That's all.
Grim, yeah, I mean, we're feeling pretty sad about him leaving. I mean, you know how important he is to our crew, and I mean, I mean, I don't know if that's. I mean, are you wanting me to get him for you or something?
No, well,
like,
I mean, it might be good if you did. I don't want to like.
why are you whispering?
And at this point, why she's whispering, here's what we'll say. It's the shuttle base. I'm going to say that Tata and Senek and Quincy and Vial, you guys were all in Shuttle Bay 1. Let's say they're next to each other. Who cares? Maybe there's different ones. I don't know. We're going to say they're next to each other. We're going to say you guys walk by this. And you do notice that Giles is talking to Lewis in front of a shuttle.
Do they see us? Or can I be like,
Yes, they don't see you. Sure.
okay. And I'll be like, go get behind a box.
Vial's like, what are you, and she pulls out her phaser, like,
Okay, no, well, maybe. Lewis is a bad guy now. She worked this captain. Oh, wait, she was there.
Vial's well aware of this. Senek, you probably, you've only heard minor rumors of this with the Maruyama stuff, but,
Can you give a summary?
Yeah, basically, Senek, it's kind of what I was just saying to Giles. It seems like Lewis now is aboard the Jupiter, working for this rival of the captain's. You probably don't know the full thing, that it seems like they are very interested in Grimm, in getting Grimm, but the point is there's a lot of, like, complicated sort of matters here.
And I will have, like, briefly explained to the doctor, and I'm like, I'm so sorry you're getting involved in all of this nonsense. Hopefully things will settle down and we can get back to diplomatic missions and weird, like, space gods and stuff like that we normally deal with. But,
You're telling me you guys have enemies within Starfleet?
How long have you been in Starfleet?
Relatively good amount of time, probably a couple of years.
There are certainly, while
Disagreements.
while enemies might be strong, I would say rivalries is more of a specific way to put it. There are always
Very aggressive colleague to colleague conflicts.
even
that
within,
I understand.
Even within the framework of the Federation and its charter, there are, and specifically within Starfleet, there are still many differing opinions and viewpoints, which in theory should be celebrated, but in practice should oftentimes leads to
Well, also
butting
Lewis
of heads.
happened to be very, very incredibly deceitful about what she was doing on the ship the last time she was here, trying to infiltrate our systems theoretically. It was a very bad situation, and for some reason she's talking to Giles, who is very easily manipulated. I didn't tell you guys that, though.
So, how long were you guys in the brig after fighting her?
Oh, this had to do with higher ups. They don't get put in the brig typically. It's very.
Vial pauses. Do you get put in the brig a lot for fighting?
This isn't about me.
So Simon, so basically we'll cut back to you and Lewis, and she's like, yeah, are you comfortable, like, going to find Grimm for me? It's okay if not, I can go find him. I just thought it might be, like, easier. You know, I just don't want this to be a big deal. I want this to be I want to make sure everybody gets to say goodbye to him, and just.
I mean, Lewis, but I mean, I thought maybe you were coming over here so we could spend some time together.
Oh, I mean, well, I'm very excited to be spending time with you right now.
Yeah, me too.
And I'd love to tell you what, maybe if you can, like, put the wheels in motion on Grimm coming down, we can spend as much time as we can until he gets here.
Can I? I'm hearing all of this, right?
Yeah.
Can I pop out?
Wait, I have a question as well. Because of my Orion skills, can I tell whether or not she's faking it?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I'll tell you what. I will let you use, yes, I'll let you try to do that. I'm gonna let you use, rather than doing insight, I'll kind of let you do daring. because you're very high at daring, since that's your style. And I'll still let you use medicine. Basically, the daring medicine here is that you are trying to, like, you're just like, I'm gonna put all my faith in detecting lies from someone talking. Like, just like, so, like, I might be real wrong about this, but let's do it. Because of this, I am going to let you know, there's two things that you can do. One, if you'd like to add another, you can spend momentum to get more stuff, but you have bold medicine. That means that if you would like to add one to our threat pool, you get a bonus d20 for that, and you can re-roll it for free.
Ooh, yes.
Also, this, oh boy, yeah, it wouldn't happen here. We haven't used your Orion pheromones yet. By the way, guys, Tata, to all accounts, is the hottest person you've ever seen. I did forget to mention that. Tata is just exuding Orion pheromones, and it's out of control.
That would have changed things with Giles there.
Understood. Sorry. We'll say that. We'll say Giles, you have a cold today, so you weren't aware. But
can smell it.
You couldn't quite smell it. That being said,
but I should be going to sick day for that.
That being said, you're like, but the solution to that is where the hot lady is. But I'll also say in the rules, it says this means men find them attractive and women don't, because it's real old-fashioned. So we'll just say, calm down, everyone, attractive. Okay, cool. So the point being, Tata, go ahead and make your medicine and daring. Let's just throw caution to the wind. So, and are you going to buy one with threat? Or do you just want to roll it normal? Yes. Okay. So
no. Yeah.
So roll 3 d20s, and you can re-roll one of them.
Okay, I rolled a 2.
A 2's great. What else?
And 15s.
2 and 15s. You have a 12. You have 17. Those are all successes. That being said, do you want to re-roll the 15 to see if you could go lower? On the chance you get a 1?
I rolled a 15.
Oh, you roll. Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. So
yeah.
In that case, 2 and 2 15s. So that is 3 levels of success. Do you want to use those all now, or do you want to put the 2 extra ones into momentum for later use?
Put the two into momentum.
All right, you guys have 4 momentum here. Way to go. With that, Tata. Yeah, she's definitely lying. You don't need to have been an Orion pirate to know that she's lying.
Okay, I'm not doing anything on the information because the counselor had stood up.
But that being said, Tata knows she's lying. Oh yes, but sorry. Vale, meanwhile, walks right into the river.
What is Lewis's new status?
She's a lieutenant.
Lieutenant Lewis. Hi.
Counselor, oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. Hello.
Sorry to interrupt, Giles. What are you doing here?
I have received orders. I'm supposed to pick up. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Giles.
Oh, me and Jacinda were just sharing our Racticino. She came to.
She? Yeah, and I'm sorry. You said you were here to pick up. What?
I'm here to pick up. I have transfer orders. I was supposed to pick up because I'm a friendly face. Specialist Grimm to Earth. I guess they're moving him to Earth.
No.
Oh, they're not? Are my orders?
They're old.
I'm refreshing.
He's currently serving under Captain Maxwell.
Do you want to say that? I'm gonna let you pause for a moment.
Oh, wait,
do you want to say that out loud?
Wouldn't that be searchable though? Is that not going to be common knowledge?
It's something someone could find out, but you need like clearance. You need stuff like that. I'll tell you what. Make a reason and command roll. So you need a 14 or lower. There are 4 momentum here if you want to spend any. None of your things would apply to this.
I will use 1.
Okay, so roll 3 d20s. You need 1 that is 14 or lower. It's a difficulty 1 for this.
Okay. A 5.
A 5. And nothing's
The other
20?
two, no.
Okay,
18 and 17.
Perfect. Okay. Then I'm going to say, you spent that one. I'm going to say that you sort of, you nearly just want to rub it in her face, but you know the best thing to say in this circumstance is, oh, he's been reassigned.
Oh, okay.
Like off the ship.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, he has been reassigned.
Oh, are you okay? Yeah. Well, I guess my orders are late then. He's on the ship. Is he on the ship, or he's already left the ship?
I'm not qualified to give that information.
Oh, okay. Well,
you might want to ask your captain.
I mean,
so you might want to
go
back to your ship.
This isn't from my captain. I mean, this is just like everyone's helping out as, you know, kind of there's so many changes in stuff.
Right,
we just got new crew members ourselves, you know.
Yeah. Well, it was great seeing you. Do you need help back to your shuttle?
But right there? No, I think I can.
Yeah.
I think I can make it.
You want to head back to your ship?
I mean, well, Giles, you wanted to hang out a little. I mean, I guess.
I mean,
can I turn to Giles and just
the look?
Giles, my friend, I need you to roll an insight command to see if you get this. It's a 12 for you. Do you want to spend momentum?
I already rolled, so does that?
He failed.
Did you fail both of them?
Oh, I failed them both.
Was either one a 20?
No.
Okay. Well, then I was in the process of asking if you'd like. You guys roll before I offer. Try to remember to hold on for a minute. Also, I'll tell you what the difficulty is, you know, if it's ever more than 1. I will let you roll 1 more if you want to spend the momentum.
I'll do it. This is Star Trek.
Okay.
I rolled a 1.
That is 2 successes. Do you want to keep the other one, or do you want to throw it back into the pool? Do you want to like super pick up on what Vale's saying, or do you just want to basically get what she's saying?
Oh, I'll just basically get what she's saying.
So you got 1 in the pool. So basically, yeah, you understand that she's basically just telling you, get this woman off of the ship.
You know, Jacinda, I my stomach hurts from this Ractigino, and I think I gotta go to the doctor. I gotta go to the doctor's to go take care of my stomach because it hurts, and I will miss you. I mean, I'll see you when I see you. I'm sorry. I've got to go. And I just grab my stomach and just kind of like really ham it up, like, oh.
She says, "Okay, fair enough. I guess I'll all right. Well, that's okay. I understand. Well, it was good seeing you, counselor." And she kind of heads back over to her shuttle. She's walking there. Senek, you and Vial and Tata, I guess, are like outside, you know, just kind of like listening to all of this. So, at this point, she's walking to the shuttle. You guys are like, Giles is like Giles will say that you even like walk out, and you see Senek and Tata and Vial all like behind the door, like listening. And at this moment, all of you feel your stomachs actually drop out, but not quite in the way that Giles was alluding to. You feel gravity beginning to pull down on you as you feel incredibly heavy, then suddenly light, and you find that you're slightly floating. The ship is almost bending around you. Vale, you in the shuttle bay, you're actually lifting about like a foot off the ground. You see Lewis like turning back to you, looking in confusion as well. And then suddenly, outside of the shuttle bay, you see rushing towards you, or perhaps you rushing toward it, as space seems to fold in on itself. the massive form of the Talleyrand. And just as it impacts, act break! Cool. So, at this point, Act 5, as ships are slamming into each other. Okay. A lot of stuff is going on right now. Vale, you're in the bay. Tata, Senek, and Giles, you guys are, like, in that hallway right out there. You're not sure what's happening. It is at this moment that, we're sort of basically, like, you guys are, like, trying to determine everything that's going on. So I'm going to start with everyone in the hallway. Something has just happened. You feel the ship rolling. Emergency lights are going off in all directions. I'm going to ask Senek and Giles and Tata to all make me a fitness and command roll. You need, and these are, I'll tell you, you need one difficulty on these. If anybody wants to spend momentum, they may do so.
What is it? Well, I already rolled.
So did I.
Okay.
Yeah. I have one success.
One success.
And that success is also a 13.
Yeah!
Yeah, baby!
Beth, you don't even play on the other nights. You
But the pressure is getting worse.
All right, so you had a success, but it was a 13. Beautiful. Beth, did you succeed?
I succeeded twice.
You succeeded twice.
I
Okay,
rolled a 5
cool.
and a 10.
Do you want to put the other one in here, or do you want to
Yes.
succeed really well? I'll say that succeeding overly actually might be good specifically for you in this circumstance.
Okay, yes, I'll succeed.
Okay, so we're going to say that you have this, and then Giles, you'd made it out there, you were clutching your stomach. How did you do at a command fitness?
So I rolled once before I don't listen very well.
It's fine.
And in true Giles fashion, I failed.
Okay. Did you roll a 20 though, or anything cool?
No. I just rolled a 14 and a 15.
All right, so we're going to say in that case, I'm going to roll 2 of these. So let's see. So, okay, so Senek, you are going to be taking, I know this probably isn't exactly how these rules work because it's like such a big thing. Senek, you do hit the ground, though you managed largely avoid serious injury, you do take 2 stress. So go ahead and click 2 of your stress boxes.
Ain't no thing.
As you've taken some damage. Giles, you fail. You take 5 stresses. And I honestly don't know if Kern is watching. I apologize because I don't know the exact rules of all of this. So this probably won't be by the book in this instance. We'll treat this as more of kind of like a D&D style like skill challenge, or just a thing going on. But yeah, basically you as you sort of take this injury, you hear a bone break as he falls. Like you hear like as Giles really hits the thing. Tata, with your sort of over the top success, you manage to use some kind of pirate wall run backflip and just land sort of uninjured, because you have the combat medic talent. You can sort of treat them without any complication from the fact that this is happening in the midst of a fight. So if you want to sort of start treating them with medicine, you can pull out your medical tricorder and start administering aid to these 2.
I'm going to do 2 things.
Okay.
I'm going to administer aid, but also I'm going to use my combat to talk to sick bay.
Okay, you hit the comm badge, and it doesn't. You're not getting much. Like it's just like it seems like the comm systems might not be functioning great. There's a lot of interference, and in fact, you do feel like the ship is still buckling and breaking, and there's some pretty severe problems going on. But as you're going to do some medicine on them, and you have emergency medicine, which is great, I am going to briefly cut into the other room. Vale, the same thing is happening to you. Can you please make a control and security roll, kind of like the equivalent of like a dex saving throw?
Sorry, it's control and
Fitness. What? Or no, sorry, fitness and command. I'm sorry, that's what I'm having be this.
Can I use momentum?
You can spend 1 momentum to get 1 extra dice.
Yes.
I should mention, though, thank you also for saying that first, you have difficulty 2 in this room. You could spend these... Actually, no, you wouldn't spend these. If you want to, though, you'd have to add 1 more to the threat to get a second die.
I'm going to do it.
Okay, understood. So
I roll 4.
You roll 4. You need 2 successes. Okay. What number are you trying to get?
A 10.
You just need a 10. You rolled 4 d20s. Did you not roll 2 10s?
How many 13s are in there?
20.
Okay.
An 18.
And 2 13s.
Oh shit! Nice. Wow.
Yeah, baby.
Wow.
So to recap.
Back in the deck.
To recap, my friends. That's wild. Okay. Now. A complication would arise from this. You can spend all the momentum you have to get rid of that complication, or you can just let that go because then you guys will be out of momentum and the threat pool is high.
I'm gonna let it go.
Okay, cool.
And, you know.
So the complication.
Happy Halloween.
Oh no! All right, so Vale, you attempt to. I'll see what happens when I roll. Yeah, Vale, you take 8 stress. And this probably isn't quite how it works in this. I'm going to say the complication is you hit your head and you pass out.
Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's all of my stress.
That is all of your stress.
Same.
Okay, in that case, yes. I'm going to just say you're unconscious in that case. So you're basically, Vale is super knocked out. Now, a roll I didn't realize was necessary is about to happen. She has more problems on this and such. But we're going to see how Lewis fared. If Lewis does okay, Lewis can maybe pull you to safety if she chooses. But if I don't roll great here...
Call her Jacinda. She'll help you.
I mean, if she doesn't survive, is it going to be that bad?
It won't be that bad. It might be rough for Vale because you're outside of the room and like everything's twisted and now she's like in a room up there and you don't like see her or hear her and there's smoke filling and alerts flaring and you feel like the ship like breaking apart and it's like really bad. At this point, however. So Tata, could you please roll? And I apologize. I'm probably doing this totally not quite the thing. Let's go ahead and just roll a medical. Let's do daring and medicine. This is what you're doing, and roll daring and medicine, and you get 2 successes on a 5 or lower because your medicine's so high. As you reach into it, you don't need the gear. You don't need any of the stuff. You're good at emergency medicine. Do you want to spend 1 of the remaining momentum to have a 3rd die on there? The difficulty to kind of difficulty 2 to help both of these guys.
I'm shoving off care. Giles is clearly worse off than me.
You're
And I can
saying
get,
no help for me. You're
Yeah.
You're. So do you want to spend one to just have really high whatever?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
try.
Then roll 3 d20s. A 17 or lower is a success, and a 5 or lower is 2 successes.
I got a 1, a 16, and a 19. So that's 2 below 17 and 1 below 5.
So
yeah.
you have 3 successes total. Very good. All right. So as you're just like, screw it. You manage you're bringing Giles up. But what I'm actually going to say in this wild circumstance with this stuff is, as you're just kind of like trying to like get your bearings on what's going on, Senek, you see that like the bulkhead beyond where you guys are standing is beginning to break apart. And Tata, you kind of just like have this like, as you're like helping Giles, you're hearing cries from the shuttle bay that is like half bent up above you. Cries of so I think with your sort of,
I can crawl up there, right? Because of my my athleticism.
Yeah, sure. I'll say, yeah, no, you can, that's a difficulty 0. You can kind of just crawl up to see as you've looked in. You see that Lewis is like trying to like drag like Quincy like out from under, you know how like they always have those like concert pylon looking things that have fallen over? She's trying to like grab her out from under one of those. But it looks like the shuttle bay is breaking apart. Her shuttle is still here.
Okay. Lewis, right? I'm gonna help you get that up. I have strength, right?
You do. Yeah, sure. Go ahead and yeah. You can do a daring. Let's do a daring and command on this. So it's a 15 or lower. Roll 2.
2 successes, 1 3 and 1 15. Can I add my 1 success to the pool?
Sure. Yes, that's better than carrying it over. So as you're basically just like you're kind of like helping her get the stuff off of Vale, Senek and Giles, I'd like both of you guys to please make a command reason roll for me. Although Senek, you can do yours as reason con if you'd prefer.
Oh, sick. Yeah, I would really.
And
like to do
actually, I'll take that back. Giles, you can make yours reason engineering.
All right.
I rolled a 5 and a 19. So the 5 is 2 successes, right?
2 successes, great.
And I got a 1 and a 4, so I got 3.
Ooh.
3 success. Wait, what's your
that's
engineering?
5, right?
My engineering, is 4, and then reason's 12.
Yeah,
So
so
is that
that
even
means
better?
you did 4 successes.
Oh,
Because they're both under
on
4.
that again?
So basically, yeah, if it's like anything that you
oh.
roll under, I said 5, I was talking to him, sorry, anything you rolled or that's under your discipline, under your engineering is 2 successes. I'm just saying that's because this is a, I'm kind of, I'm assuming both of you must have, I'm going to say this, sure, we can say this will apply to your engineering and helm, understanding of what's going on. You guys understand that this ship has taken a huge amount of damage, and where you are is about to be gone. You don't know if the ship is destroyed, but where you are is not long for this world.
That we must retrieve everyone from the shuttle bay and get out of there.
Do we have a path? Like if I perceive the path of least resistance, like toward the shuttle bay, back toward the,
you guys are just right outside the shuttle bay, just kind of like, it's like you'll have to like climb up the floor to get into it. But I think both of you, in differing ways, and Senek, you say if that shuttle's still there,
yes,
that's your best path out.
Yes.
Lewis's shuttle. We've got to get to it.
I'll start running, try to help get Vale up.
Okay, so you guys crawl in there.
I'm being dragged.
I will say you guys have rolled pretty well here so far. Yes, as you guys begin crawling across the bay, as everything's kind of collapsing, you're also seeing the shuttle bay is the bulkheads on the side of the shuttle bay are beginning to open further up to space. You see the the vacuum of space, the force fields are they're like shuddering. You're feeling intermittent gusts of air as it's being pulled out. Lewis is saying, one of my nacelles is busted, as she's trying to like help carry Quincy over to her shuttle. But the 5 of you are close to making it there. I don't think we'll do a roll for you to get onto it. We'll say that you can make it there. But Senek, as you guys climb into the shuttle bay, the shuttle begins to the shuttle is definitely damaged, so you're going to have 1 extra thing on it. Fortunately, you are going to be able to use your precision flying here.
Yes.
Because of that you're going to be trying to fly like directly through like debris as it's breaking.
Right, yeah.
That being said, you're going to need 3 successes.
Okay.
To do this, 3. You need the difficulty here's 3. You can use your precision thing. You can use your helm operations. This will be, for somebody else, I'd say it's daring, but for you, it's all reason. This is reason con, and this reduces the difficulty to only 2. So go ahead and make a reason con roll. Do you want to spend?
I would love to spend a momentum.
1 momentum. All right.
And then remind me, what does it mean when it's a small craft? So what does it mean when it's one of my focuses again?
It means anything that's 5 or lower counts as 2 successes.
Okay.
So you're trying to hit a 17, 5 or lower gives you 2.
Yeah, 5, 8, 18. So yeah.
5, 8, 18. Perfect. So
3.
that is 3 successes. You only need 2. Let's just say you use the last one to like really do a flourish, because this vessel is like you don't have warp on this thing, but you're able to get the. Yeah, you're just like do a barrel roll. So you do a barrel roll as a side of, and I don't have it as a Lego, as a side of the Noteworthy is like breaking apart. As you guys manage to eke your way out of it. As you look back, you see that the Noteworthy has been rent across like this, and like the front section of it is like peeling off from the other section. Meanwhile, this fancy new Talleyrand ship, this thing is like busted off, like the tower has pieces are busting apart of this brand new fancy ship. But something seems strange, because like your shields should have stopped that. Like whatever caused these 2 ships to crash makes no sense. As Senek, as you manage to get the ship to somewhere safe and you're kind of like floating amidst wreckage, as you look out, you see a ship that is of a design you have not seen before, any of you. Actually, I take that so back. Senek and Vale, you have seen this ship before. You've seen this ship in the middle of a nebula.
Oh.
When you went to when you took an admiral who only Senek couldn't see into the middle of a nebula. I genuinely don't. I think I used this, so I'll just use it for now. Oh yeah, I use this guy. That's what's basically little cross pollination here, but it's okay. Pay no attention to the Star Wars ship. As you see that this vessel is like moving away. It is being followed by several Starfleet vessels, including the the Jupiter. But every time the Jupiter fires phasers at it, you've never seen anything like this. The phasers are like bending away from it. It's not like a deflection. It's like they're like bending and just carrying on. Like reality is warping around this ship. It seems to be moving this beam that is pulling Federation ships into one another amidst these various ships that are moving. As you guys all sort of wait there watching in fear here. God, I want to. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna
Senek. Do it.
I'm just gonna look at everyone and say I'm gonna look at the doctor Dr. Tata and say, well, it seems the mission parameters may include war after all.
Ooh,
Great. Kuja, what is that?
Okay. Hold on. Sorry, I didn't have all of it. At this point, it's on a Romulan base. I don't care. you do notice a smaller, a Nova class ship is sort of following as like the other ships, and like you notice the Jupiter is getting thrown, and Lewis is like, no, as she sees the Jupiter getting thrown towards another vessel. But this little Nova class ship, Commander Senek, difficulties 2 because everything's falling apart. Can you give me a control and what would sensors be? I guess. Oh, you can do con for it, right? You have a thing that lets you do that. Yeah. Do control and con.
That's a 9 and an 18, so just one success.
One success. All right, cool. I'll say that with your success, you're able to access this as this one Nova is using some kind of like graviton beam or some other creative thing. You can tell it's the Borneo is managing to do something that is thwarting something this ship's doing, and then suddenly the ship disappears to warp.
We need to see how many survivors are on the ships.
Yeah, can I run a quick scan of the Noteworthy?
Absolutely. And we're actually going to like sort of like move on from this scene. You run a scan of the Noteworthy. The Noteworthy seems to be in pretty rough shape. There is a loss of life, but because the attack has ended and there's so many other Federation ships that are just like swarming, everyone is beaming survivors off of these ships left and right. When the dust settles, we're going to we'll say, here's what we'll do. We will say that the 4 of you disembark aboard the Jupiter, which was saved because of the Borneo. So you guys
Commander Cynic, is Commander Cynic hurt at all?
He is a little
Mildly.
hurt, yes.
I do not require immediate attention, but thank you for your concern.
You can patch him up as he's fine.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Oh, Vale is
unconscious.
We'll say Vale's unconscious. So basically, I'll say that you can kind of revive them as we sort of get to this point. However, you guys get off on the Jupiter. Lewis kind of climbs off and says, "I'm alive." You do see Captain Murayama is there. You also see Vale. You recognize that Vulcan Hanine is present as well, and she's just looking like very concerned. Senek, I think you actually did talk to her at some point, so you also recognize this Vulcan. She kind of nods to both of you. She has a Starfleet badge, and she walks off. But she was the one who was like, let's destroy this technically warp-capable civilization because they are kind of violent.
Yeah.
So anyway, the point is, you see that she's aboard, but Murayama's like Murayama will sort of let you guys know is you did what you could to help, but really you just needed to sort of get, yourselves to stop. He'll tell you that casualties are rough, but not too bad. Fortunately, the Talleyrand, couldn't think of its name. The Talleyrand was very lightly crewed at the time. It had a skeleton crew, and so like they had very few casualties. Everyone was kind of able to beam off. The Noteworthy, sort of because there was a lot of transfer, had fewer people aboard than typical, so there were casualties, probably about like 40 or 50. That would actually be pretty high for that ship. Casualties were like 15 or 20.
But it's people who would have like died on away missions and stuff.
Okay, well,
fine.
Grim,
Red
but
shirts.
okay, yeah, not Grim, the character that the yellow shirts these days. So the point being, as you guys kind of get the word of this, it looks like some of the makeup of these various vessels has been radically changed. We'll sort of cut to Tatus, Senek, Vale, and Giles. Vial survived, as did Dobbs and Liana. Ooh, should we say let's roll on that named Betty Donaldson. Let's see how she did. She's okay. Point is, But we'll say that you guys are like in a Starfleet, like you're on some ship, probably not the Jupiter anymore. But you're the crew of the Noteworthy. As you're all gathered, you get the word that the Noteworthy has basically been destroyed.
I'm going to continue to scan Counselor Vale just to make sure she's okay.
Okay. Try to sort of help her out. The ship has been destroyed. They're not going to be able to like repair it at this point. So was the Talleyrand. One of the casualties was the new captain of the Noteworthy, who had just arrived. She was killed in the destruction.
She's kind of a bitch anyway.
Ooh, did Commander Whitney make it? Actually, that might be interesting.
Ooh, Commander Whitney.
Commander Whitney obviously survived and like carried a bunch of people up a turbo lift on her rope on his back.
Yeah.
And they said thank you, and he said, "Never say that to me again. Don't thank me for doing what I'm paid to do. I'm not paid. We're in a post-money future. Don't talk to me." Anyway.
How did RoboCop end up here?
I've seen dark things. None of you understand. Oh my God, Vale, you gotta do a counselor episode with Commander Whitney at some point. But
looking forward to it.
The point is, Commander Whitney saved a bunch of people. The other captain died. There have been some various shakeups. Captain Winter sort of will come into you guys, or Commodore Winter, and he will say, I'm glad that you're all right. This is a very hard day for all of us. Vale, I hear you took a pretty bad hit to the head.
I did. Luckily, we've got a very well-qualified doctor in our group. I was going to say on our crew.
Very happy to hear that. Well, in light of this attack, Seneca and Vale, I know Starfleet Command do want to talk to you. You believe this was the nature of ship that you saw in that nebula when we were under the telepathic impression that there was this captain?
Yes, Commodore. It is. Can I tell if it was the same ship or just the same make?
Ooh, make a reason and command. It's a ship. Reason and con, that's fine. But I'm gonna make this a difficulty. There is one momentum left. Let's say this is a difficulty 2.
12 and 17, so 2 successes.
2 successes. Well, fair enough then. Yes, it was not the same ship, the same build, the same kind of ship.
And also, yes, Commodore, this was the same class of ship, but not the exact same ship. So there are more of them operating than we would hope.
This is troubling. The fact that twice they've specifically been interacting with or thwarting our diplomatic measures means there's something that they don't want. In any case, I'm here to inform you all that you are all being assigned to a new vessel. You're going to have 2 or 3 weeks off. But in light of what's happened, you've all been requested, and I've approved. Even though you're new to the team, Dr. Tata, you clearly distinguished yourself in helping most of my senior staff get out alive. You are being assigned to the Noteworthy.
I'm confused.
They rebuilding her?
No. Second ship off the line. The second Talleyrand class vessel is being rechristened the Noteworthy.
Oh, no!
So you guys are going to be aboard this kind of cruise ship. However, it doesn't have quite. It has different systems than that ship. He says, and though it's still being put through its final paces. Starfleet has reconsidered how we're going to operate the diplomatic corps, in the sense that though I maintain my promotion to Commodore, I'm actually going to be remaining at Starfleet Command.
So who's going to be the captain?
Bump it a bump it a bump it a bump it a bump bump. Cut to the bridge of the ship as you guys are all on the bridge taking your positions. As you see Commander Whitney like sit in like one of the chairs. Vale, you're in the other chair. Tata, you're at like the you're at like the medical station on there. Senek, you're at the helm. Giles, you're at the engineering thing. Bial's there, and you see Captain Maxwell as she takes her position aboard. And she kind of just looks at this ship as she kind of sits down and says, I think we're going to have to do something about all this gold trim. I think it's kind of ridiculous.
Well, I don't think it's too bad. It adds a richness to it.
You hear Commander Whitney's just like, She says, Mr. Senek.
Whitney, you know you like it.
Whitney just gives you this look of this pain of like, do I like washing the blood of my best friend off my hands every night as I wake up in a sweat?
We're gonna talk about that.
But as you sort of glance over at him and Maxwell's like, she sort of sits down in her captain's uniform. She says, all right, Mr. Senek, take us out. If you guys haven't seen Star Trek the Motion Picture, this is nothing compared to that. They show the Enterprise for 10 minutes. They just fly around it.
Painful.
Yeah.
Painfully beautiful.
So, as you can tell, I kind of like towards the end there, just kind of rushed through some stuff, just so you can see that we're at a new, there's a new status quo.
Yeah.
I should have broken this into a part 1 and 2, like in tonight, you know. I should have had it be more acts, because I could have done more act breaks. Whatever, it's fine. The point is, I'm gonna go to one last act break and then we'll keep talking. But that's like, as the final credits roll, ba-ba-da-bum, ba-ba-da-bum, bum, 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 shoo.
Doesn't that mean the episodes could be longer and shorter?
Oh, they can. I just like to do act breaks. Anyway, hi everybody. Thanks so much for watching this. I'm also going to say that something kind of disastrous happened. Because it was I did
break a ship.
I did break a ship. I broke an important ship. It was on a chair, and I guess it slid because I moved a chair faster than I meant to.
Is it the Count's Vigor?
It is the Count's Vigor. So I'm gonna have to put the Count's Vigor back together, and all the Count's horses and all the Count's men could not put the Count's cock together again.
I was like, could not put Train and Aubriel's relationship back together.
That is true. No one could put that. They probably could put the Count's member back together more easily than they could put you two together.
She is happy with Elbrand, okay?
Why?
She's moved on.
That guy sucks the most.
Zane, you were supposed to play my new partner in Star Wars.
Oh, I was?
I told you that, and you were like, no, it's okay.
No, but it's great because if you were playing him, it'd be hard for me to hate him.
That's true.
Because Philip, I'm like, this guy fucking sucks so bad.
Yeah, every time he shows up, Dan's like, hate him.
He's cool.
He's the absolute worst.
He's so cool.
He's so nice.
Also, guys, do you know what the coolest thing about Elbrand is? Here, Beth, I don't think you know this. Okay, what Elbrand, when he's like signing off from talking to this woman he's dating, he doesn't say, I love you. He says 3 other words. And those 3 words are, you are amazing.
No!
And since I won't be saying any names, this is based on, I had some friends in college. And they were like that couple who was like so coupley.
Oh.
And what they would say to each other when they were parting is 3 words. They would literally say 3 words, and walk away. And at some point, somebody was like, do you know what the 3 words stand for? And everybody's like, I love you. And she was like, no, it's much worse. They stand for you are amazing. I just
And
think
I've known this
Affirmation
story. I've known this story for like 13
I
years
love it
at
so
this
much.
point.
I love it so
And
much.
he said it on stream, and I died laughing.
I just want you to know something. You are
No,
amazing.
I hate it. I hate it.
In any case,
Sorry.
I'm glad he.
No.
so that's the thing about another thing. I think I've now gathered all the pieces of the Council of Vigor, but I'll do the thing where you lay on the ground and shine a flashlight. That's how you find missing Legos. There's one thing I know how to do. Anyway, guys, thank you for putting up with that. I know that was kind of a weirder episode because it was so much just chilling out and fun, and then kind of that one. Here's what the memory alpha on this episode says. They were like, there's pacing problems. Like, the attack on the ship should have happened halfway through, not at the end of Act 4, just as this cap, because, like, that made such a long Act 5. Anyway, the point is, thank you so much for that. As you can tell, we're kind of entering a new phase of the Noteworthy, as we're here aboard a Talleyrand class. I will say, Giles, you'll have a lot of fun. The engines on this thing are serious. This is a huge ship. You've got a lot of choices for it. I think that in spite of not liking elements of it, with Maxwell at the helm, perhaps you will actually find this a pretty interesting ride. So thank you for watching. We will be back in 1 month with another full thing, and maybe we'll even have, we didn't have the all last night, but hopefully maybe we'll have all 5 of our main crew here. In a month's time. But between now and then, at kind of irregular intervals, sometimes on Thursday afternoons, sometimes on Saturday afternoons, maybe on one of the Tuesdays when we don't have the other game going, we will kind of jump in with these mini episodes where we do a couple episodes in like an hour or two and just kind of like walk through them. And we do the act breaks. I will not do them as aggressive in those. I understand the distinction. But outside of that, we got a lot of other fun stuff on this channel. Join us on Saturday for nothing this week. Then on Sunday, Saturday's tomorrow, Sunday, join us for a more Wretched Hive, where you can see Beth and I as players for Pierce as he runs our game about our very interesting group of just musicians. We're just trying to get by. We don't care that we're playing for some First Order guys who call themselves the Prime Order. It's fine. 2-day shipping. What's not to love? On Monday, you can join us for Civilized Age, where you can hear the aforementioned Elbren say the 3 mentioned words to his 2 mentioned. Yeah, thank you. And you can see that's what Sophia so lovely, so kindly calls. I think Mom and Dad are fighting. Is that the name of? Is that the subtitle? It's Mom and Dad fight.
Mom and Dad fight.
So please join us for that on Monday, and then on Tuesday.
If you are interested in seeing Lauren just absolutely berate the shit out of me,
It's so much. Lauren basically, Lauren is a men's rights activist generator. Because all she does is just go so hard, and she just makes so many men be like, wow.
Listen, I have a lot of issues that I work through in these games.
Yeah,
It's a therapy session.
it really is a therapy session. It's funny that you're playing a therapist in this game, too. She's like, I need to take that power. So, the point being, super fun stuff there. Please enjoy that. On Tuesday, guys, the unthinkable happened.
they solve it.
They solved it. Murder by Murder is
Wow.
over, but on Tuesday, we're going to do a Murder by Murder post-mortem where they can ask me questions about all of the, unresolved things. I have promised I'll be totally truthful. This does mean you will hear me say, yeah, I don't know, that part didn't make sense, I'm really glad you guys never went down that road. Or, if they ask, there are some things that I really, messed up in the doing that, so we'll kind of reveal, because that was a much more kind of, intricate, kind of complicated thing. So please, that'll be on Tuesday. It's going to be a wrap up for that, our Murder Mystery Postmortem. A week from tonight is I keep saying landmark because I think it's funny. Also, look what it ended with. We didn't have to go over.
I'm sorry.
Okay. On Friday, It is the 65th session. That is 5 times 13, 65. Ooh, wonderful. So that means it's a big deal. We will kind of be having, though it is Merkshire, we'll be having like Dan will be back, I think Liv will be back. So like we're gonna have like some interesting stuff going on in Merkshire. I'm very excited for this. That'll be fun. Then, not the week after that, but the week after that, starting on October 25th, Halloween week, it is the Blood from a Stone takeover. 7 nights in a row of Blood from a Stone, all the usual cast, starting with our Tuesday group. Sans KJ, because she doesn't like horror, but everybody else will be there. We're doing horror every night, 7 different domains. There will be like a weird little through line between them, but those are literally going to be numbered chapters of Blood from a Stone. I'm so excited about it. So please join us for all of that fun stuff. That goes from the October 25th until October 31st, when we end in the surfing domain. So that will be called Mom and Dad Fight the Surfing Domain, but they may not. Maybe I'll make you guys be a divorced couple in that one too, just for a feeling.
I think we should do that. Yeah,
a feeling of consistency.
Exactly. It's like, I think it should be like exact same characters, or at least like exact same dynamic, just like in a different setting.
Exactly. Well, thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to thank everybody there. Thanks to everybody out there for tuning in. I know we had some raids tonight, right?
We did. We had a lot of energy. We had we started out the night with apostrophe this, giving out 5 community sub gifts.
That is so nice of you to do.
Like always coming through. After that, we had Gut Punch RP come through with a raid. We had 10 raiders come through. It was very exciting. We had we had Swole Initiative Network, the Buff Dudes, once again came through with 23 raiders. Always good to see the Buff Dudes come through. And we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new followers this evening as well. So
all right,
amazing. Well, thank you all to all of you. That's so cool. I appreciate that. I always like when
tell them like you told me. Tell them 3 words.
Hey guys,
tell all of our new people.
To everyone who just joined us, and to everyone who raided in tonight, and to everyone who gifted a sub, I just want you to know 3 words. 3 words. You know what they are.
Unsubscribe.
If you'd like to unsubscribe, no one would blame you. So with that, yeah, please, I want to actually say one more shout out too. I want my players who dressed up so awesomely. I really need to get an admiral's uniform or something, or the Q judge costume to wear for these, because you guys do such a great job of being in costume for these. It's awesome. I want to think that if you want to know about the amazing things that our players get up to, please go to our About page here on Twitch, or follow all their social medias. Go to our Discord, where we post recaps of these games and all sorts of other fun stuff there and interact. So special shout out to everybody who interact over there, or overact into there.
That's good.
You know, late.
So with that, thank you all. I have so much fun doing this. I appreciate you putting up with my act breaks and my Starshield backgrounds. Until next time, 5 to transport.